You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday, May 31st. I'm Ken Bufa. An alleged drunken wrong-way driver accused of killing two Roslyn teenagers is fighting to be released on bail. An attorney for Amandeep Singh will go to appeals court in Brooklyn on Friday to argue his client should be free to assist in his own defense. Now, as Newsday has reported, the 34-year-old allegedly drove his truck the wrong way on North Broadway earlier this month and slammed head-on into a car with four teenagers inside. 14-year-olds Drew Hassenbein and Ethan Falkowitz were both killed. And one person is hurt following this ATV crash in Franklin Square. It happened here at the corner of 3rd Avenue and Sheila Court at 8:30 this morning. Police say that person was taken to the hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. And a sinkhole is snarling traffic in Lido Beach. Check it out. This is the sinkhole that opened up at the corner of Lido and Regent Boulevards, taking out 2 lanes on the busy roadway. Officials say the driving hazard was first reported just after 11:30 this morning. Crews, by the way, were still at the scene redirecting traffic while repairs were being made. And the agony of defeat. A stellar speller from Great Neck has been eliminated from the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
Moralgia. M-O-R-A-L-G-I-A. Moralgia.
Oh, come on, you couldn't have spelt that either. That was the word that knocked out Brian Liu from the semifinals in Maryland today. The 11-year-old had successfully made it through 5 earlier rounds, too. The Great Neck Middle School student was among more than 230 kids vying to be named the winner of the 95th annual Spelling Bee. And some lifeguards in Nassau and Suffolk County are getting a pay raise this summer. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday. The state increased starting pay by 21% last year, from about $18 to $22 per hour. The move is aimed at retaining talent and preventing a shortage that has plagued some local beaches. State parks need about 500 lifeguards to maintain 7 beaches and 2 pools from Jones Beach to Montauk. Now, for more information on lifeguard certification tests and how much other local governments are paying, go to Newsday.com and click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And a lesson in AI at a local high school. Well, parents should know about ChatGPT. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday.
It's some sort of artificial intelligence that can take in questions, kind of like Siri almost, but then actually generate something new, whereas Siri kind of has like canned responses or works through Google. ChatGPT is generating its own brand new response and creating something that hasn't existed prior to that moment. I think parents should know that it's not at the point yet where students can just use it and then all of a sudden start getting hundreds on all their assignments, right? It's not quite there yet, and that it is something that students could use potentially as a guide, but not something that's at the point where it's going to start doing their homework.
I mainly use it for like help with my English assignments or inspiration with personal projects or just random information that I just want to know.
So far what I've used it for is just comparing with what students are doing with their codes and just seeing like, okay, is this good enough yet? Is it doing what we actually want it to do? And for most of the time, the answer is kind of. You know, it's getting there, but it's not doing exactly what the students are actually doing.
Now, for more on ChatGPT in schools, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And a Suffolk Corrections officer just completed 5 marathons in 5 days. This is Officer Jeffrey Baname. He ran 26.2 miles in each of New York City's 5 boroughs last week. And to top it off, he ran a half marathon in Suffolk County to bring his total miles running to 144. Now, he did it in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. The impact of the raging wildfire in Canada is being felt here on the island. Now, the sky looks hazy. It's not your imagination because according to the National Weather Service, plumes of smoke from the fire in Nova Scotia are making their way across the northeast. The wind today is expected to create a more widespread haze before eventually pushing the smoke into New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. With that said, let's take a look at your Long Island weather, shall we? Tonight, temperatures are dropping. They're going to go to around 54 degrees with some fog. Tomorrow, we're looking at the mid-70s with mostly sunny skies. So let's take a closer look at tomorrow. You can see it's going to be a really nice one. Start off with some fog, but that's okay. High is going to be in the mid-70s.
Watch Newsday TV on the big screen. Use the remote to activate Siri, Alexa, Roku, or the Google Assistant on your streaming device. Say, install Newsday. Newsday TV, covering Long Island like no one else can.
Now, there's a lot of buzz going around a trend on the island: backyard beekeeping. Ariel Dollinger has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Customers take the honey, leave the money, says Huntington beekeeper Richard Blome. We're here in Huntington outside of Richard Blome's house on Cherry Lane, and this is his honey stand. He has bees in the backyard, 10 hives of them, that he uses to make honey, which he jars and sells for $15 a pound. And we are about to buy some. We're going to put some money in the cash box and take our honey.
I'm a beekeeper for the last 50 years. Got my first little package of bees in 1973.
Blome is one of many backyard beekeepers on Long Island using their land to make a home for honeybees.
There's a lot of beekeepers in Smithtown. I have a 4-acre plot here. It was originally a chicken farm. So the smoke just calms them. You can move them around by smoking them a little to move them out of your way so you can see.
Throughout her property, Grace has hives of honeybees, but her land is also suited to native pollinators: birds, butterflies, and other insects, to name a few.
I don't use pesticides. I have an organic garden, and I leave a lot of the area unmowed and wooded so that there's both nesting and forage for native pollinators as well as the honeybees.
Keeping bees in the backyard is illegal in certain towns and villages. But even where it is legal, there are unwritten rules. The Long Island Beekeepers Club calls its guidelines the Good Neighbor Policy. Guidelines include making sure backyard bees have a constant water supply and keeping hives a certain distance from a neighbor's fence.
We don't want to do things that's going to be of a concern for our neighbors.
And Grace has a good neighbor policy of her own.
Every year I make sure when I harvest my first honey that I share a jar of honey with each of my neighbors. And so they are very happy that the bees are here.
For Newsday TV, I'm Ariel Dollinger.
Sounds like a really nice hobby. Now, for more on backyard beekeeping, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. A Plainview woman who was paralyzed in a skiing accident is now an inspiration for many. Drew Scott has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Hundreds of neighbors and friends of Rebecca Colton walked, ran, or raced wheelchairs in the 5K Memorial Day weekend fun run. Supporters say the charity turnout was impressive.
This is the second annual 5K for Rebecca. It's a fundraiser to help her family raise funds to pay her enormous medical bills.
Rebecca was a college senior bound for medical school when in 2021 she found her life changed in an instant after a skiing accident in Vermont. Doctors gave her the terrible news she would never walk again and would be paralyzed from the neck down.
My life's dramatically changed because I have virtually no independence. I'm washed, dressed by someone else. I can't even itch my own face.
We're all supportive of each other. Everyone wants to come and support Rebecca, and yeah, it's amazing.
In an effort to share her story and help others, Rebecca speaks on podcasts and even has become a TikTok social media star, showing off her sense of humor. This 5K is an all-day event to raise Rebecca's spirits and help defray her $1 million in medical expenses and continued care estimated to be $200,000 to $300,000 a year for the rest of her life.
It's terrific to have this family support, community support, international support for this, because it would be really hard to get through each day without this.
I'm absolutely thrilled that there's so much support for Rebecca and our family.
When you go through something that is, that difficult and traumatic, and then choose to get up and get out of bed every day and, really, make the best of that situation, it's really amazing.
I'm just grateful for the little things I still do have, and for all the people that care about me so much, and how supportive the community's been to fundraise for me like this.
In Plainview, Drew Scott for Newsday TV.
You can definitely see Rebecca is loved. Now, to go and learn more about Rebecca, go to Newsday.com and click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Get more of the stories you've seen on Newsday TV at Newsday.com. Plus breaking news, investigations, things to do, restaurants, and other Long Island news you can't get anywhere else. At Newsday.com, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thanks for joining us. We leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast.